or so since I last updated. Just had a lot of work, went on vacation, getting back in the groove, but I've still been playing Space Engineers a lot every day. This is a far different location than where I was the last time I left off. Um, Currently, let's see. So this hideous little thing you see right here is, oh, crap. Basically, it's the most ghetto crash landing thing I have. This asteroid behind me to the right, you can't see it now, but I'll go back to it later. I have a station there. I left from my ice planet, which you actually cannot see. It is on the opposite side of this planet, which I have named Etheria, because I forget the name it is on the workshop. I've literally downloaded a whole bunch of planets. Since I last updated, I added several more planets. So I think I'm at a total of 27 planets and moons total for this solo game file. I've been to that planet in the back with the moon I added to it. I was actually tempted to go there first before this planet, but it didn't make sense because I set up near this planet. Mainly because I liked the atmospheric effect of it. Hey. Super. Sorry, I'm just responding to people watching. I've loaded it. So Josh is just asking me what I'm building. Literally, this isn't a final structure. It is simply designed to crash land onto the planet's surface. My goal is, as I get closer to the atmosphere, I'm going to slow down. That way I'm not slamming at the full force of 170 miles an hour, which I think is good enough for now to disable those. I think I can cruise at 169 miles an hour into the surface of this planet. My goal wasn't to actually ride on it into the surface. I have all these unfinished pieces here because I didn't want to waste the steel on building them. These will help absorb some of that initial impact, and the rest of the structure will just take it. I venture to guess I'm a good 50,000 kilometers from the planet. Where you see all that back there, that is my space station. Oh, that's right, I have to turn the antenna up on this. There we go. Let's look into the camera. Okay, let me... Mining cube 1. Control 1. And I'm spinning around without actually paying attention to whether or not... But there we go. That's the planet. That is my automated drill ship. How far do I have to spin before I see my base? There we go. Oh. Ooh, I am so much closer than I realized to my base. So this is the space station I built, because I learned my lesson with the last one. You should never build floating in free space. Build on an asteroid. I was never big on building space stations. I've always did ships. I never did a lot of stations themselves. So this was never elaborate. It was just, the bulk of it is designed for refining and storage. Of course, I have my med bay down there. and control room. This is my unfinished mothership, which I plan to use as I go through space. Let me get myself oriented here. I've downloaded some mods since the last time I played. God damn it, why can't I get used to where everything is? So one of the mods I downloaded was the Nanite Control Factory. I try to avoid using mods that I feel are kind of like cheats. That make it too easy, but I found it easy to build and refine. Let's see. So there is my crash ship headed towards the planet. This is my second automated miner. Again, I like to use the automated drill beams. So if I go to bed, I can set these up near an asteroid and just let them run all night. So I have two of them. And the thing is, when they run, they bring my game to a lagging halt. So that's why I like to let them run while I'm at work or at home. If I want to, I could... I've used Nitredo before. I could set up a custom server just for myself and let it run. Why does the planet look so much bigger through the camera than when I'm actually on my space station? Oh, huh. I totally didn't realize I could zoom. I knew I could do something more with the camera. I forgot I could zoom in and out with it. This might give a better view of my base. So this is my mothership with the 4 warp drives on it. I'm probably going to cut out of my remote control here soon when I cross the 50,000 mark. That's my small manual control mining ship. This other one here, this black one, I use for exploring space around it or going to other planets. This has this huge opening because my automated mining ships I don't like to rebuild, so I actually dock them in here on landing gears and use to transport them from planet to planet. Eventually I would like to have one for each planet, so let me exit out of this. Where are we? We are getting close. I want to say the name of this planet on the workshop is Deimos, D-E-M-U-S, by Dr. Argonopoulos, which I'm probably mispronunciating. That's RavCore in the back, I believe. I forget which one you are. Obviously, that's Mars. Earth is viewable somewhere. Actually, I can tell you all the planets I have. I keep forgetting. And I keep meaning to disable this mod. Here we go. Actually, sorry, I have 26 planets. The basics. Aqueous is where I started. This is the one I'm heading to. This one's really nice. It's inspired by Star Wars. Tatooine, basic. RavCore, I believe, is that hot burning red. Or is this planet named Viria? Zess is another favorite of mine, but it's discontinued. You might have seen it in the background a few times. It's that hot red atmosphere. Titan's another favorite. As much as I like planets, I'm finding some moons are very cool. Like this moon, Unk, I believe is the name on the workshop, is also very cool. It doesn't have any atmosphere, but it has a very low, shallow atmosphere with an intense blue, and it's very foggy, but of course most of the terrain peaks above it, so it's a cool effect. Not there yet. If I go overhead, I usually like to go as far up above where I am, which gives me an idea of how close I am to the planet. So I'm coming in on this planet, arguably upside down. I should probably rotate myself. I'm about to sneeze. I apologize. Oh. Okay, hold it off. So what do I have in my inventory? So this is... I have more than enough to start. Do I need to crash start? I don't need to crash start. I just like the aspect of crashing a ship into the planet. But do I want to go through the effort of building a big ship and crashing it? No, because then I find that a little bit more wasteful. Like, it could have crashed. Am I in? Yeah, I'm still in remote control at the moment. Let us see. Let's rotate a little bit further. Arguably upright. Now, I've been on this planet to investigate. It has 1.4 Gs of gravity. It's low oxygen until you get directly up. Here we go. God help me, I'm going to try to slow down. I doubt that's possible. Nope, I am not slowing down. I'm going to crash directly into the surface, but what I can do so I'm not landing face forward is I can try to get it a little bit more on an angle. So bear with me. It's a really far out atmosphere because I think about it. Is Earth that far? This is going to suck in every way. Actually, if I turn myself around entirely, not what I want to do, but if I can rotate myself around backwards, facing back from whence I came, I can use that to slow down my impact. Let us see. It didn't take that long to get here from... Does it matter? It does not matter. I am going to hit this at a very... Oh, wait, no, wait. Oh, that's my own fault. These are not... I think I'm covered well enough in the back. If I am lucky, I am not going to be slamming into a mountain range, but I feel that this is a very mountainous planet from the little I've been on it, although I am hoping what I see down there is valleys. I see a lot of red, green, and purple atmospheres, but I don't see a lot of different color. I don't see a lot of orange or teal skies. But I wonder if you're I know why the atmosphere is beyond color, but I would be interested. I use Blender. I'd be interested in making some custom cloud covers for planets. Yeah, having that really hard decision of essentially which way I want to crash into the planet. Honestly, I'm just going to turn my thrusters off at this point. And I'm going to try to rotate myself to arguably... I am a little bit more better covered on the front. So I might as well try to impact as best I can in that direction. Back to my passenger seat. Hi. This might fail overall. I should have slowed down. I should have explored to the planet's surface had a way marker to at least give me an idea of how far off I was before I entered the planet atmosphere, but Lessons for next time I'm not dead. My space station still has enough resources to basically recreate everything I lost. Although I just need more silver. Platinum I think I'm good with. Uranium I'm good with. Iron I'm good with. Let's just view it from the passenger seat. We're at 0.31 Gs. We are still in a no oxygen. Ooh, I'm going to hit the side of a mountain. I knew it. My plan is in the future, instead of hastily building these, I have to make, oh, fuck me. I forgot to build a structure there. Whatever, that's fine. In the future, I do want to build. I plan on crashing into planets in the future to settle. I don't want to necessarily build giant motherships. Okay, we are getting ready to pass the first cloud cover. There goes the one planet behind the surface. Trying to figure out how to use up hydrogen sitting in the seat. Okay. We are 10,000 kilometers away. I've reached max velocity. I do not think this will end well. In the worst case scenario, my large cargoes explode and I send my materials flying everywhere, but that doesn't mean I failed. Because on Aqueous I still have ore sitting on the ground from when I first crashed the ship there about a month ago. Okay. We are zeroing in on the terrain. Maybe I should have had my seat in the back versus in the front. Oh boy. That wouldn't be a bad spot to start my planetary station, but it looks like it's going to be here. I can see trees, and I am 2,000 kilometers from the ground, under 2,000. Brace for immediate impact. This is not going to go well at all. Here we go. Yep, my ore containers exploded. My cargo containers exploded. But that doesn't mean they're lost. They're still there. Lesson learned. This is my space station. What I can do in the interim is I can retrofit whatchamacallits, atmospheric thrusters onto my space exploring ship. Do I necessarily want to do that? No, but I will. Those doors have been jamming recently, I don't know why. And I still can't figure out why this upper level will not become pressurized. Get to that in a second. My game's running a little bit choppy right now because I can tell it's still running simulations on the planet surface. I'm just surprised the whole thing exploded. My body location, that's right. It's like, oh, the antenna survived. Actually, that's good, because I can use that as a reference to where to go. And this is the nanite mod that I found on the workshop. I was a little bit iffy about using it because I felt like it was making the process too easy, but just building and having the resources in survival and then trying to manually build every single thing can be exhausting. Stairs, the glass stairs mod on the elevator, another one of my favorites. And then this is my storage room. Above this, the floor above that, is where I have all of my refineries and arc furnaces. I quickly built... Oh, I thought I put more... whatchamacallits on their modules, whatever. Actually, nah, we'll get to that later. What I like about the nanite control factory is it can also generate... It can send to your assemblers requests for components if there aren't any available, based on the resources you have left. Probably not airtight because of this. I've had people make a lot of different mods to do different things, but I find it hard to find good decorative mods for space stations and interiors on the workshop. Corner lights mod, another one of my favorites. I like the airlock door mods a little bit better than the sliding door option. The helmet's on, right? I keep taking my helmet off in the station, then forgetting to put it back on. Actually, you are worthless to me at the moment. I can sacrifice you. Oh, so the NSC you see is the custom faction I gave myself in game, which is National Space Explorers. I've tried to make peace treaties with First Colony and Space Pirates. Nobody is accepting. Where are you? Oh, there you are. Mining Cube. Actually, Mining Cube is the first one I built over by Aqueous, and I transported it on this one, which I called Heavenly. This I built by hand, mostly. It was a pain in the ass. Warp drives does get me a good distance, although it took me 3 jumps to get to here, and then I had to navigate my ship. I didn't design this ship to necessarily fly through space. It's mostly when I want to transport other large ships. So if I was going to travel to, let's say Mars, and I want to set up my space station outside of Mars, maybe on the moon. Well, I doubt on the moon because of the gravity effect. Ooh, what happens in here? Oh, that's right. I forgot. My ship got attacked. Military cruiser, I think, passed by. I just want to know how it hit into the ship. Oh, it struck from underneath. That's right. It flew from underneath and was shooting away at my ship. I haven't been in here in the last week or so I haven't really checked it out. But This also has its own artificial gravity. Huh. The radar component, which is another really good mod, especially when you're in space. The red dots are enemy ships, the blue and white dots are my ships, and then all that yellow is random debris, or could be abandoned ships. Honestly, I wonder if it's worth just crashing this thing. Sorry. Into the planet, but I'm going to sacrifice my welding ship that I no longer need. Actually, it might be worth it to build a nanite factory. No. The nanite factory is good, but it uses a lot of energy to control. I'm just going to crash my small welding ship over here because I no longer need it. Lesson learned. Next time when I go to crash into the planet, I will jump out of my ship before it hits the ground. And if all that is a waste, it's fine. I still have my space station with resources. I have all of my crap from here all over the ground. So take 2 on crashing on the planet. God help me if this fails, I have to just suck it up and build a planetary lander that can survive the impact or the gravity of this planet. Which I suck at math, and I'll have to figure out how many atmospheric thrusters I'm going to need for that. So probably at around 40,000 kilometers away is when I'll initiate my dampeners. That is Earth back there. Can you see? So that blue dot all the way past, well, not blue dot, the blue planet past Earth, the smaller one above the horizon, that is aqueous. That is where I traveled from to get here, just so I could waste 110,000 sheets of steel plates crashing into the planet. Oh, why did you revert? Oh, damn it, that's right, I didn't put a antenna on this. Maybe not the best decision I've had. Ay, ay, ay. I don't know, I'm under the impression I thought this game had music, but I never seemed to find any audio. Oh. There we go. Alright, I'm just going to let this cruise at 202 miles per second. Still centered. I look like I'm on track, but when you're dealing with space and planets, even though I'm seemingly centered, I could still be off by 2,000 meters. I was trying to do this on an area where it'd at least be sunrise, because the last thing I want to do is be on a foreign planet in the dark. I'm also right, I didn't have medical components. Shit. On the bright side, components can't be destroyed on impact, which I find weird. Is that... Nah, we'll see. So when I get to about 45,000 kilometers away, I'm going to initiate my dampeners to let natural gravity do its part, actually. Or I could just get close enough, not crash my ship, fling myself into the atmosphere, and then use my own dampeners on my spacesuit to bring me to the ground. Yeah, that's actually quite literally how I landed myself on that planet. I physically jumped from the moon to the planet using nothing but my spacesuit. That's very deceiving. They're only maybe 20,000 kilometers apart. But it's, from me, 350,000 kilometers away. Where's my home station? Probably one of the more tedious parts of Space Engineers is the traveling option. I know there are things I've seen, the Star Trek hologram, oh my god, why am I blanking on the word? Holodeck? To basically beam yourself from location to location, but it has a 50,000 kilometer range, which... I mean, for a planet, when I'm dealing with an atmosphere that's already 40,000 meters thick, that doesn't make much of a difference. So yeah, my space station's about 100,000 kilometers away from the surface of the planet. At least now I know the moment you hit planet gravity, you cannot slow your ship down. At all. Alright, in about 20,000 kilometers, I'm going to initiate my dampeners and then fling my person out of the building. out of the planet, well, out of the ship into the planet's surface. Or I can sacrifice the ship. I don't think there's anything in it. Nah, not that much. Oh, that's right. It's my first constructor ship. I don't know why it lost its name. 70,000 kilometers away. I've actually been in multiplayer games where, in the absence of a ship, I physically flung myself across space from planet to planet. I gave myself an oxygen bottle. I got up to 260, or however the maximum speed threshold they had on the server, and just flung myself through space. Voss is DOS. What is this? Raid in progress, raiding station. Fighting ships have never been my strong suit in Space Engineers. I've never actually engaged in a whole ton of those. Anyways, lesson learned. Don't build a ghetto crash ship for a planet. I had a much different idea. I'd been planning for weeks, but I was getting antsy. I just wanted to get it done. No, take my time. Do I see myself mining on planets a lot? But I plan on using planetary bases as warehouses for resources. I do want to build a large ship to transport ships from the surface to the planet. That way I don't have to make every ship I build on that planet designed to work in planetary gravity. Okay. I'm going to turn on my dampeners now. No, that's a little early. Again, I could just fling myself to the planet's surface. What that involves is just when getting in a proximity to the ground, activating my jetpack, my personal dampeners. I forgot this ship was not designed to travel. It was meant for isolated building. That is fine. We will deal with it. Hi. My goal is eventually, as I work on this planet, I do like building planetary mining ships. Although I like the automated, I keep screwing it up, the automated beam drill. But I don't know why it causes my entire game to run like a slug. Whereas if I do regular drilling, I'm fine. Okay. We are not in planetary planetary gravity yet, although I think it's coming up very soon. And there is the theme music. Actually, that would be a good mod for this, would be parachutes. Which I don't know how you would work that. I guess you'd have to have it on your character as a tool. Actually, that would work if you had a character tool as a parachute, which basically gave you a permanent dampening until you touch the ground, or at least for a duration of time, in the event you run out of hydrogen. Alright. Oh good, I'm just going to continue. Well, no, not good. I'm only traveling at 17 miles per second. But here we go. Flinging my body into the planet. This will either be highly successful or a remarkable failure. Like I said, the challenge I'm going to have with this planet is the intense gravity. I do have one planet mod that I found the concept interesting, but I never actually ended up playing on the planet. But the planet had a gravity of 7 Gs. But it was very rich in ores. But the challenge was getting yourself off of the planet because ice was very hard to come by. I think it's 47,000 kilometers planetary gravity kicks in. Or it might just be 40,000 kilometers. Alright. We're going to leave it at that and see what happens. It is. Why is it so hot today? It's only 70 degrees, but my room feels like a hot box. If you hear background noise, I'm sorry, that's me turning on my fan. If it's too loud, I'm sorry. Okay, maybe it is just 37,000 kilometers gravity kicks in. I usually find that feature annoying, body location, but in this situation... here we go. 42,000 kilometers. I am picking up speed. So there's a max speed that you can reach by propelling myself, and then there's max speed I can reach from basically being pulled in by gravity. I want to say it's 280 meters a second is the max speed for the mod that I have, because I believe in vanilla it's 120 meters per second, although I've seen one mod that will bring you to, I think, 500 meters per second or 750 meters per second. Oh god, here we go. Moment of truth again. Me and my little body flying into the planet. It's my base. Huh. Oh boy. It's interesting when you're in space, you want to be on planets, but the moment you get on a planet, you find yourself wanting to be in space. And one planet seems like so much to cover, why bother with multiples? But then you get kind of bored being on one planet. My hope is to make this planet my homeworld, so to speak. There we go. We are... When you're not in your person in the ship, it doesn't give you the distance from the actual planet surface. That can be a little disorienting at times. Actually, if I just turned off my jetpack... Honestly, I really want to start on that planet because I like the views of it, but I will start here. What I find interesting sometimes on planets is that if you have random chance encounters enabled, you will literally see mining ships crashing out of the sky. Or raiding ships. So on the one server I ran earlier in the year, I had that all the time with seeming to be way off from where my body is. Maybe not too terribly. When I get to 10,000 meters, I should probably turn my jetpack back on. Oh, let's see. I am 15,000 kilometers from my body. I should have grabbed an oxygen bottle and hydrogen bottle before I left, but mistakes are made. Oh, good lord. So I want to say I'm going to end up... Oh, I can see all the crap that crashed in the ground glittering. When I see trees, that's when I'm turning on my jetpack. I am 9,000 actually. So I like to completely stop my fall, my descent, before I go into free fall again. This at least gives me an idea of how much break room I'm going to need between me and the actual ground. I'm probably going to be 7,000 kilometers away from my crash site. Which isn't too terrible, but on foot, that can be a challenge. I come to a halt again. I can see trees. Going to free fall again. I have a problem of thinking I'm too close to the ground before I crash, or before I turn off my jetpack and end up being enough distance, especially on this planet, to kill myself. Other mods that I have are the maglev rail, which I plan to use on planets more than flying ships. Okay. Bring myself to a stop. I have to watch out for my hydrogen level because it's running incredibly low. Well, it's at 56%. I'm at the maximum planetary gravity of 1.4. When I get to the surface, I should have enough oxygen to take off my helmet. So where I start my stop and go. I have the challenge of my crash site being all the way back over there. I'm literally just gonna have to go on foot to get to my body and all my crap. I'm really hoping all of my supplies didn't go on a magic flying tour. I'm gonna bring myself over this way. See, there I am. I'm burning through my jet fuel, which I don't like doing because the moment it turns off and you're going on high speed, you're dead. Actually, it might be dead right now even. And I am on the ground, and I am out of... Okay, so I'm not too far. I'm only 4 kilometers away, but that's on foot. But I have enough energy left in my suit. It's funny, in space, 3.62 kilometers doesn't seem that far, but when you're on the surface of a planet and you have to run or walk it, it's far. And time is not on your side when your suit can drain pretty fast, actually. Nope. Thought I would have more oxygen, but it's actually very close to the surface of the planet that there is available oxygen. been a lesson on how to not crash land your ship onto a planetary surface. Let me do the math here. I have 3,500 kilometers to go to speed of 7 meters per second. Okay, it took me 8 minutes to walk it. Question is, do I have 8 minutes of energy left in my suit to walk it? I feel like if I've... I should be fine. I'm at 91% energy. Oh, this might not be good. If my body landed, if I crashed into the side of a mountain, I mean, literally my supplies could have been scattered all over the place, which is fine. I'm cool with scavenging. I just need to find enough stuff to make a method for me to... Tell me these two mountains connect. Tell me they're not separated by mountain ranges. No, I'm good. And I find it weird that planets get completely dark, but things like components or ships don't. So even if I'm on a pitch black planet, as long as my ship or parts of it are in draw distance, I'll be able to see it. Also, I find it weird that spacesuits don't have a built-in conversion system for converting ice into hydrogen on the go. Why is it if it's a low oxygen environment, I take damage, versus a no oxygen environment where obviously I would take damage? Yep, so this is the planet I'm looking to settle on and build basically my home base. I'm not gonna lie, I was attracted to the purple sky because it's so different than anything else, but that comes with drawbacks like 1.4 Gs of gravity and deciding to just thrust my entire body and ship into the planet's surface. Jumping does not help me. I'm sorry for this tedious watch right now, because literally you're just watching me run very slowly. It's taking so long because... Whoa. Let's never do that again. It's probably running sluggish because of all of the junk that flew out of my ship. And it's probably still generating physics right now. Actually, let's just get a view of where I am. That is me. Okay, man, I've come a good distance. I came from all the way back there, I believe. Okay, spotting ore on this planet is going to be a challenge. Actually, where's my body? Oh, that sucks in every way. concern is running uphill with this intense gravity. So, like I said, in space it looked like I was on target with my tracking. But I come to find, even though it looked like I was on target, I was still a good 5 to 7 kilometers away from where I actually landed the first time. So this is going to be my challenge, is not falling to death on the side of this. And getting back up there. My concern is dying again and then having my body location reset. Actually, that's a genius idea. I should just take my... at least copy it to my clipboard. Is jumping a bad idea? Not necessarily, but I don't like the free falling I'm doing. And just to look up in the sky, that is where I came from. Trying to get to that location, but it's been an hour. I'm going to call it a break because it is 11:50 p.m. here. Thank you for watching. Hope it didn't bore the life out of you, and I'll try to tune in tomorrow, or if not, I will tune in on Monday.